Dear Holly, right now you're sitting in an emergency department surrounded by nurses, physicians, and law enforcement. Yet you feel like you're all alone. Just a few weeks ago, you graduated middle school, and you were terrified of going to high school. You imagined the worst, and you were desperate for an escape. That's when you met him, an older guy at the mall. It felt good when he pointed you out of the crowd. You felt special. He told you he could help you get a job in California as a musician or model, something glamorous. We can drive across the country in a red Corvette, he said. We can see famous cities and we can meet famous people. Not only did you think this was a real opportunity, you thought this was your only opportunity, your one chance to become someone who mattered. With the highest hopes and biggest dreams, you ran away. This man promised to help you, to take care of you, to protect you. Instead, he took you to Atlantic City and forced you into prostitution. Life would never be the same. When it became clear what this man expected you to do, you didn't realize you were a victim of a crime. In fact, you blamed yourself. And the way you were treated by law enforcement and healthcare after you were recovered only seemed to confirm your beliefs that this was your fault. You will later learn about sex trafficking as an adult while watching a documentary. Not only will you learn that you were a victim of sex trafficking, but you'll learn that this is a crime that's still happening today in the United States. You will discover that there are organizations dedicated to preventing human trafficking and protecting victims, some of which are led by survivors themselves. You will meet survivors who share their experiences and expertise across the country. The survivors you meet will change your life. Through their stories, you will finally understand that what happened to you was not your fault. You will begin to see your own vulnerabilities as a young teenager, and you will finally recognize the tactics this man used to lure you away from home, away from your family. For the next few years, you will share your own story to audiences, and you will write a book to educate others about the prevalence of sex trafficking in America.
A victim of sex trafficking, Holly writes all about human prey, how America's youth are vulnerable to sex slavery.
And so here you are today, writing this letter to yourself, back in the hospital, surrounded by nurses, physicians, and law enforcement. What has changed, though, is that you're now leading a national program to educate professionals about human trafficking, both labor and sex trafficking. You now travel regularly, just as you always wanted, seeing famous cities and meeting famous people. Instead of seeking glamour, though, you're helping healthcare workers and first responders understand how to support survivors of violence in a trauma-informed manner, the kind of approach you needed as a 14-year-old victim. You're now married. You have friends and colleagues around the world, all while answering a call to share your own experiences and to guide others in their work. You don't know it yet, but you have a purpose. You will use this terrible experience from your past to make a difference in the lives of others, and you will flourish.